beautiful afternoon here at the Brighton Community Stadium. Match for South Africa and Japan. And weather conditions are looking very promising indeed. Just partly cloudy, temperature sitting at 16 degrees. The stadium about to explode.
2015. Please welcome South Africa and Japan.
We are jam-packed with 30,666 spectators at the Brighton Community Stadium.
And a beautiful stadium it is, isn't it? The atmosphere is fantastic. The stadium is just spectacular. Football field, small in-goal areas, but a real beautiful place to play rugby union.
And even around the stadium there are echoes of the FA Cup final in 1983 when Brighton and Hove Albion missed an open goal against Manchester United in the FA Cup final.
For the national anthems of Japan and first South Africa, supported by the Reebok Choir and Brighton Male Voices.
African lineup. There are 5 World Cup winners in the forwards and 2 in the backs. Victor Matfield, his 124th international, and a late call-up for Detroit, who comes in for his 5th Test match, playing on the side of the scrum. Over 200 Test caps in the front row, and Zane Kirchner forms a very formidable back three with Ngobo and the all-time record holder Brian Habana for South Africa. And the Japanese team with over 600 Test caps. The average age of this side is the highest ever, over 29 years of age. Thompson and Ono have produced the best line-out stats of any Tier 2 nation, 92%, 85 from 89 line-out success. And the 2 benches, there's a lot of tall timber there for South Africa. J.P. Peterson, a World Cup winner, and Andre Pollard, again a very exciting youngster, and the return of Puri Dupria. How exciting for Japan. Hesketh, an ex-Kiwi, on the wing.
Vital for South Africa that Puri Dupria gets a little bit of game time. Hasn't played since the Japanese Cup final in February and suffered a little bit of an injury, so he'll get introduced off the bench at some point. Looks like South Africa won the toss. Sean de Villiers. South Africa will kick off and play from right to left.
Here we go. South Africa won the toss. They have elected to kick off. Japan said, we will run. From left to right. Jerome Garces, his 26th international.
Captain Green, Captain Red.
And Luke Thompson prepares to receive. Match 4 of Rugby World Cup 2015, and this is Tui, the number 8 forward, and he is immediately taken heavily there by Lourdes Diaga. So we're only 15 metres out from the Japanese goal line, and Japan immediately under pressure. Goromaru over halfway to Kirchner. Kirchner sizes up. It hasn't been a fast chase from Japan. They've found space. Habana, Berger. Japan under pressure here, just 15 metres out. Lambie works it wide. De Villiers to Jesse Creel. And they swarm. Sao is there, he may have won the ball for Japan. Brilliant work there by the outside centre. Japan counters. They have an overlap. It's Hori the hooker, Mitsushima. Joel Stransky, what an exciting start to the game.
And clinical start from both teams. Real intensity in terms of carrying the ball up, playing from deep.
Bismarck Duplessis may have wrestled this one South Africa's way, so a turnover. He wins more turnovers than any other tight forward in the international game. Here goes Mbogo. And Japan go low there through Yamada. We're on halfway, Dutoy. Another brilliant tackle there by Tui. Players coming in on the side.
May well have been a tackler who thought he had the right to play the ball. The ruck was formed though, says Jerome Grosset, and the penalty for South Africa. What a start from both teams. Interesting, Japan kicking straight down the middle of the field from their own goal line, not choosing to kick it out, obviously fearful of the South African line out. And then real good counter-attack from Zane Kirchner. And when the Boks have had the ball, nice and clinical.
The Japanese team, traditionally the cherry blossoms. Every Japanese rugby player strives to wear that flower on his left breast. And that has transformed into the brave blossoms, as they are now known.
Well, they'll have to be brave at this line out. South Africa meandering in very slowly, maybe trying to disguise their setup initially.
Victor Matfield, multicoloured headgear. De Villiers crashing in. The beast. And it's been pinched again by the New Zealanders. I think it was Broadhurst that time. Mike Broadhurst, the 28-year-old from the Ricoh Black Rams. So a lot of pilfering from these very fast-twitching, fast-reacting Japanese forwards.
South Africa will have to be a little quicker to the breakdown if that continues. They'll have to just try and pour a few more numbers in there. The beast carried it up strongly. It almost ripped out in the tackle.
Keep the
Looks
line
like more so than a steal on the ground. Michael Broadhurst it was with a very good rip, and the clearance, well, decent. Could have maybe been a bit further. Still under pressure will be Japan.
Over the back then to Lowe and de Villiers. The feature of Japan's defence is their low tackling, right around the ankles. Detroit. They're inside the 22. It's been an electric start to the game, Diaga. Broadhurst looking for another steal. Nice bounce. Netfield brought down on the 22. Hatakeyama is wearing the headgear. And look at this defence from Japan.
Taking the space very quickly, coming up, putting the ball carriers under a little bit of pressure. The space might well be on a switch angle out wide.
Well, Eddie Jones said at the press conference, and they win another ball. Tanaka.
Second time round, better kick.
A quick throw in here from South Africa, but the referee says we're going to have the line out. Yes, I was going to make the comment, Joel, that Eddie Jones said because we are giving away so much height and weight, we have to play at a furious tempo, and we must tackle when South Africa has the ball until our eyes are starry.
Well, they've certainly gone in low so far, and hopefully the eyes won't be starry, because it'll probably mean they've taken a bump on the head, the tackler. But good low tackling, good low defence, and at times driving the Springboks back. It's been a solid start from Japan. They are, however, playing the game inside their own 22, which is a dangerous part of the field. They'll want to be pretty good here in the first scrum of the game. Such a big part of the game, such a big part of the foundation of the game, the setup of the next phase. If they are to make a good clearance and a good kick and relieve some pressure, they need to have a good solid scrum. Well, there's a passionate man, isn't he? Hanneke Meyer broadcasts the anthems out loud, wears his heart on his sleeve.
Inside.
First scrum, so important. Tight head side for Japan. Hatakeyama will want to just hold steady on the right hand side against the beast of Tairira.
Japan win it well, straight through the primary channel, and Tatakawa falling along the ground. Hendrik Tui making nice ground. South Africa loitering there at that ruck. Here we go! Gormabu! Oh, he threw the dummy. Yamada had no one in front. Here they go again. Thompson. The Japanese asking questions early on.
Needed to go, didn't it? That final pass on the outside was Yamada. South Africa caught offside, but it's a scintillating clearing move from Japan. Under pressure at the scrum, moved it quickly. We're so accustomed to seeing Fumiaki Tanaka dictate play. Did it brilliantly. That should have gone. Quite possible try-scoring opportunity for the Japanese. Ghana begging here. Had a little look. Zane Kirshner stood tall in defence and made the tackle. From there, South Africa offside, and a first shot at points in the game for Japan. Well, you've got to love the contrasting styles of play. South Africa, big, strong and powerful, playing a little bit of the one-off runner game, trying to almost bully Japan at the moment into submission. This man, Eddie Jones, his team, playing fast and furiously, pick and goes, moving it quickly, and certainly dictating the speed of the game.
And Joel, as a player, pound for pound, he was one of the finest footballers in Australian rugby. He was good enough to keep the great Phil Kearns in Randwick reserve grade.
Well, he wasn't just a good player, he's a great thinker of the game. I think back to 2007 where South Africa won the World Cup. Very influential in the strategy.
Can Japan get first points? Yes, sir. Almost a look of disbelief from that elderly gentleman. But just have a look at the scoreboard. Goromaru puts Japan ahead by 3-0.
For Japan, number 15, Goromaru.
And isn't the crowd relishing this occasion?
Well, we want a contest, don't we? We want both teams to go toe-to-toe, and 3 points deserved for Japan. May well have had a try. We would all have loved to have seen them score early, just to test this Bok team, put them under pressure.
Good aerial skills there from Michael Leach, who came to Japan as a 15-year-old schoolboy and was raised in the Japanese rugby system. Goromaru.
Move, no! Move back!
Almost down to the opposing 22. Luasi Mbobo. Left foot kick, nicely weighted. He's run everyone onside. Leach underneath. Second high ball take from the Japanese skipper.
Good away!
Pinon not running away. Tap and go it is from Tanaka.
Oh, look at that Fijian pass. Hisao. Well, it's a thrill a minute here at the Brighton Community Stadium. Japan taking the game to South Africa. It's David and Goliath, as Eddie Jones said. Thompson does well. Tanaka on the loop. They're creating space. Chow goes at Matfield. Another penalty. Another shot at goal.
Just hear the roar from the crowd, loving the fact that Japan are taking on their more fancied opposition. Look at this for a little backward, just magnificent. Shot to Hori, the pass out the back. Japan attacking down the left-hand side. Bismarck, you can see the man penalised for being offside. Defence standing good for South Africa at the moment, but they'll have to watch that discipline. They'll have to retreat back behind the offside line and make sure they don't give away penalties. They're conceding space and territory and points at the moment. Really changed.
And it's the tight head prop coming off the field. This could be a blow for Japan. Kensuke Hatakeyama coming off the field after 10 minutes, and he's been replaced by Yamashita. And Joel, significantly, the South Africans have been in a huddle for the last minute.
Well, I think Jean de Villiers and Victor Matfield will just be saying, let's calm it down, get disciplined, get our hands on the ball, don't kick it away, let's keep the ball for a while, build a bit of continuity, be patient, and stop the Japanese from having the ball and playing so quickly. Bear in mind, South Africa haven't played for 3 or 4 weeks. They won't be short on game time or any sort of form of rustiness, but they won't be accustomed to the speed that Japan are playing at.
Well, it's breakneck pace. And can Goromaru now convert that sort of intensity and pressure on the scoreboard? He's pulled it. Well, that's a very uncharacteristic miss, and perhaps some nerves there, Joel. You've been in that situation.
Yeah, sometimes those easy kicks are the hardest ones. They're the ones you expect to get, and not the most difficult kick. Be disappointed. Let off for South Africa.
This time Mvovo goes high and wins the aerial battle. Well, that really was a let off for South Africa. A chance to settle things down now, consolidate, and get some good field position. Lambie. And it's Diaga. Just outside the box 22. Lambie down the field to Goromaru. He's got plenty of distance on that kick. A good 50 metres on the fly. Now Zane Kirchner. Was he outside the 22? I think he was.
South Africans are thinking he was on the line. It looked awfully close.
He can be on the line, that's fine.
Doesn't matter what the South African team thinks, it's what Jerome Garcia thinks. He looked maybe like he was very close to the line.
He looked as though he was a bit unlucky.
Yeah.
The assistant referee having a look at the replay. Japan win the long line out. They're looking for points. Thompson. Berger goes over the top. Nice ball here for the Japanese. Tanaka away to Tui. Diaga trying to hold him up. We're inside the South African 22. That's Ono.
No, leave it.
The ruck's formed. Berger's gone in and pinched it.
First man on his feet.
He was able to use his tentacles there. Now South Africa using some space out wide, and not their best kick, but it does relieve pressure.
A great steal from Berger, playing in the number 8 shirt. We're more accustomed to seeing him in one of the flankers' shirts. Bismarck to Duplessis with the initial steal, and then Skulk taking it over. And the big advantage the Springbok team has with the likes of Bismarck in the front row is the amount of work he gets through in the tight phases and the tight loose.
Tanaka quickly to Tatakawa here. Romaro in behind Habana. Kirchner absolutely pummeled. South Africa keep the ball in play. Ono. It's a tantalising kick. Lambie back there.
Back, 6.
He had no one to work with, and we're on halfway. This is Leach. Just bouncing it. It came off the South African boot, I think.
Like rabbits in the headlights at the moment, the Springboks, not really sure what their game plan is, not wanting to play from deep, but not wanting to kick it away. He'll be delighted, Eddie Jones, at the start that his team have made. And they just seem to be growing in confidence. It's a mental part of the game, so important. True belief will be coming through to them right now.
They're not so comfortable handicap now, and there's a line-out steal.
Well, a bit quick up off the offside line with the Japanese.
Yes, the defensive line must stay back 10 metres at the line-out until the line-out is finished. They just went a little early.
Ruan Pienaar will be delighted there was a penalty there because he kicked it straight down the throat to the winger. So this is maybe the opportunity South Africa need, just to calm things down, kick it out, maybe set up a rolling maul, exert the power and strength they've got up front, and just get back to the way they want to play as opposed to the fast and furious manner in which the game is unfolding.
Joel, the interesting thing about the two forward packs, the average height of the South Africans is just about taller than the highest forward for Japan. Here we go. De Villiers getting over the advantage line. Pienaar. Duplessis. Good set up here by South Africa as Matfield takes it into the heart of the defence, as does Berger, and makes a few more metres. Lambie. Thumping tackle. Hendrik Tui that time. Supporting Broadhurst and Leach. Almost an unbelievable pass there from Berger if it had gone to hand. Hatsushima coming in for the tackle. This is better continuity from South Africa, but they're still making heavy weather of their progress. Lambie. Calling on the Japanese to do a lot of tackling now. But they're doing it, and they're going low. Jesse Kriel. Slowly but surely, they encroach on the Japanese goal line. Diaga. There's almost another steal, but he left his feet.
Hendrik Tui, the man who got his hands on the ball probably legally and went to ground over the ruck, over the tackle, and penalised. Real patient build-up.
Yes, John.
A TMO report here, I think.
I want to put on the big screen the tackle.
Okay.
Well, it's the tackle in midfield we're going to have a look at. It's not this part of the play. This is where it is. Jean de Villiers jumps into the tackle. He launches himself in. And, well, I don't think there was too much that Michael Leach could do about that as de Villiers jumped in. There was the little speculative back flip. I was called it a back pass. Cross between a pass and a flip from Skalkberger, but had gone to hand it may well have been a try in the corner for Habana.
The number 12 jumped, no? What do you think?
Well, as you called it, Joel.
Yeah. The green player actually jumps into the tackle, which doesn't actually help.
Into the defence.
It's actually nothing. I would actually just carry on.
No problem.
Okay.
Yes, and he's come to the right conclusion, I think. Sean de Villiers launched himself off his feet.
The reason why you follow like this, because you jump. And when you jump, okay, good call.
You've got to respect Sean de Villiers as well. He just goes, yes, that's exactly what happened. No need to worry about it. The two captains have a little look at each other and get on with play. Good jump, good solid tackle, it must be said as well. But nothing Leach could do about it. De Villiers in the air.
Now here's a big problem for Japan. The line out 5 metres out.
We haven't seen them all yet. We've seen a couple of plays off the back of a dummy maul almost.
Will this be mission impossible? Japan going low. South Africa controlling. Low has it. Rob Low. Try time. Francois Low. Rob Low, of course, a famous predecessor. Francois Low gets the try for South Africa, their first of the World Cup.
No relationship to Rob Low, but certainly Rob Low will be proud of this maul. Well structured, well organised, collapsed by the Japanese. Out comes the arm for advantage, and round the corner came Peter Steff to toe it. Francois Low followed. Good strong leg drive, well organised, well structured, and really back to the South African nuts and bolts. Strong forward initiative, big powerful bit of rugby union, the leg drive strong, and the rewards there for the Springboks. This is what they are so good at, particularly against teams who don't have the power to match them up front. And quite rightly, the South African supporters who've made their way down to Brighton, loving the score.
Patrick Lambie attempting to hit the spot with his opening kick of the World Cup. Lovely strike. Francois Low, the man who has been such a dominant figure with Bath.
That is a conversion for South Africa, number 10, Pat Lambie.
Hatakeyama, the tight head prop, is back on the field, replacing Yamashita. So that's good news for Japan.
Yeah, I can only assume it must have been a blood bin replacement. Did pretty well while he was on though, Yamashita.
There's a very interesting kick-off. It was a rugby league-style grubber kick, and it almost came off for Japan. But Pienaar's punt downfield is a beauty.
Now, what about the pick-up from the big fella, Luke Iago? 2.06 got down there and collected it very well indeed. And then he may have kicked the other one, the last one, down the opposition's throat, but this is a superb kick from Ruan Pienaar. End over end, little top spinner almost. Gets the bounce and chases the Japanese team way back towards their goal line. And we said it in the opening minutes, under pressure, so hard to play from deep.
Taken by Ono, Broadhurst passing, and that's Leach. He ran into Francois Low. Tanaka into scrum half here. It's Thompson driving ahead, good low body height.
The ball!
Goromaru, good distance. Copybook.
Yeah, great purchase on the kick, wasn't it? Good angle, got the angles perfect, and a super clearance. Good little bit of initiative at the line out as well. Good quick throw in. South Africa not organised enough or timelessly enough to compete at the line out. We're so accustomed to seeing the likes of Matfield and Iago being influential in Japan out of the danger zone.
Some very distinguished grey in that beard of Victor Matfield.
Not sure he wants it there yet.
Here's Pienaar having a look, and here's the run from Matfield to Pienaar. It would have been dangerous if he'd offloaded there to Kirchner. Japan now having to do a lot of defending over the last 10 minutes. South Africa controlling the possession and the tempo. Lambie with a high tester. Matsushima. Tapped back by Habana. I think that was Kirchner coming through on the loose ball. Now Lambie again. To Berger. There's a good tackle. Space here for South Africa, the beast. De Villiers wrapped up. Good line speed from the Japanese defensive line. And Vovo nicely put through the gap there by Lambie. Holes starting to appear. You can only tackle for so long against this sort of onslaught. Low. Lambie. Jesse Krill. He met a red and white brick wall. Here's a gap. Du Toit. So close to his first test try. Here's Matfield and Berger looking for the offload. How much longer can Japan hold on? Here it is for Lambie. Here it is now for Du Plessis. Did he get it down? No, not quite, but here it is. Oh! Berger with the tap on. How did you see it, Joel?
Well, it's lost forward. The only chance South Africa have got here is if we go upstairs and have a look at Yanni du Plessis' effort, which he's nodding his head.
My first call is try yes or no when the 3 green carry the ball in goal. My first question, have a look about the 3 green when you carry the ball.
3 green.
So we're with the TMO now, Graham Hughes. And if he does get this down, Joel, it will be his first test try in 5 years. The last one was against the Italians. Were they looking at the Yanni du Plessis or the Bismarck du Plessis?
Well, Bismarck's lost that forward, and I think it may well have gone forward out of Scott Berger's hands.
Yeah, it's lost
so
forward. Scrub 5, red ball.
And Yanni, the telltale sign is always the players. The Boks have got nowhere. They go down on the line, came up short, then knocked on by between Skalkberger and Bismarck du Plessis, and Japan a little bit off the hook. Should undoubtedly have been a try for the Springboks. Monica May will be a bit disappointed in the lack of a clinical finish with an open try line.
Well, the du Plessis brothers had a double crack there at the white line. Not to be on either occasion.
They might be having a little chat about that later. Wondering how they both came up short in 1.5 phases of play. So, Japan, scrum time. They'll have to put it in and clear it out awfully quickly indeed.
Hatakeyama on this side, who went off for a concussion test. His parents' house in Miyagi was washed away by the tsunami and the earthquake in 2011 there in the headgear.
Don't ask me every time. Once is enough. Crouch! Bind! Set!
South Africa pushing a little early.
And brilliant experience there from Tanaka. He just held the ball up a fraction of a second there, and South Africa gave their little push. He immediately pointed to it and won the free kick.
There he is, number 9. He has been described as one of sport's greatest unsung heroes. He is 5 feet 5 and 73 kilograms. He is the smallest player in the tournament, but the biggest heart.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the smallest players in the Super Rugby tournament this year. And nippy, fast, and always a handful. Courageous little man.
His superstition before each season is to shave his head. Well done, Victor Matfield. Pass was
dodgy.
Yes.
Picked up by Garcia.
Call from the assistant referee.
I think South Africa aren't quite used to that little bit of rush defence, taking their space as quickly as we've seen right there. Again, another call on the far side from JP Doyle.
Long bind.
The other assistant referee is Federico Anselmi. Japan needs some possession. They need to get their hands on the ball and show their attacking prowess and see if they can now find some space.
Well, it's a good attacking position from the scrum there. Good big blindside and two players out wide. It looks like it's Gurumura and the right winger Yamato. Everyone else lined up to the left. It'll depend on which way the scrum reels.
It's a big scrum. Tui was there. And South Africa getting a nice shove on. Once the referee called it. Hori. Just short of the halfway line. Tanaka. That's Thompson. Flying through there was Diaga. Oh no. Tatekawa. Good tackle, De Villiers. 3 on 3. Koromaru. Here's Ono. Barrel there by his opposite number. Handle on the ground there by Bismarck. This is the halfway line. Japan trailing 7-3. Tui. Referee still playing advantage. Nice little kick by Tatekawa.
Over the ruck.
Going back for the
ruck is from
penalty, I think.
Bismarck could see a little overzealous there at the Brighton. Can leave a little kick in behind. Wobbly old grubber, difficult to pick up for Kirshner. This is good taking of the space from Ruth Dioga, very quick off the defensive line, and there's the hands in from Duplessis on the floor.
Joel, you mentioned the tactical awareness of Eddie Jones. He's visited some of the best sporting coaches in the world. He's even been over to Pep Guardiola from Bayern Munich and formerly Barcelona, and focusing on the supreme passing skills and moving the ball into space.
Talking about moving it into space, that is an unbelievable kick to the corner. Brilliant kick. I think what better man to learn from than Pep Guardiola. We've seen how Barcelona played in his tenure as the head coach or manager, and now Bayern Munich, and such a great learning curve about the management of space in any sport.
Hatakayama, South Africa holding on for dear life here. It's looking promising here for Leach. South African players have gone down. Almost penalty try territory. The box were in disarray there. Look at the ball on the goal line.
Scott Berger may well have had his hands under the ball. There's a little bit of pushing and shoving. The crowd in the far corner thought may well have been grounded in a trap for the men in the cherry and white. I'm going to have a look at it. I thought Jerome Garcia had blown the whistle, to be fair.
Yeah, try yes or no.
From the original maul?
Awarded the penalty.
From the original maul.
Leaders out.
Yeah, okay. Have a look about if there is 1 or 2 players in front of the ball carrier.
Okay.
Anxious moments here for Springbok supporters, but taken by Tui, number 8. Then Michael Leach.
Good solid mauling defence for a period here by the box, and eventually it was a little bit of go forward as the backs, the Japanese backs, leaned their enormous weight into that maul.
Oh no. And also Tatekawa.
Well, I think he was short. I think Jerome Garcia was in exactly the right spot, blew the whistle, and then went the second movement over the line. I'm not sure who's responsible for collapsing it from the South African point of view, but gutsy mauling and tenacious strength from the Japanese. That looks to me like it's short of the line, as much as the crowd would love to see a try for the Japanese team.
once the ball is over the goal line or on the goal line, it's a free-for-all. Anyone can go in and force it, even though a ruck may be formed.
So now it goes, it's short. If you are going to do anything, you have to do it immediately in terms of placing or moving the ball. I've got a feeling it's a little bit short, and then if there is anything, it's going to be a second movement anyway. So
yes, the number 8,
I think.
The number 8, Hendrik Tui, the 27-year-old from Suntory Galav.
And the leg drive is the critical factor there. That is a telling point of the second movement, and that's really what we're seeing. So I'm almost sure we'll go back for the penalty.
Yes, you can reach out, but you can't drive your legs like that to force the momentum.
And the whistle they've gone
Jerome,
yeah,
he's short on the grounding, so you're back for your original penalty for the collapse maul.
Okay.
Okay.
About my first question.
No, they're fine, they were all
you
bound.
can referee a maul, but the ball don't touch the line, so
No.
I come back to the penalty against Green.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's cool.
No try.
Yeah, good referee.
Sanity prevails. Bad luck for Hendrik Tui, and now with Michael Leach, the Japanese captain. But what a titanic performance from Japan in this first half against the most successful team in World Cup history, South Africa.
Read the line.
They are going for 5 points.
And a little bit under the cosh, the South Africans are not used to being dominated and trapped down on their own 5-metre line. It's good to see, actually, and it's good to see how they'll stand up and come out of this.
Thompson, they've slipped it away nicely. The backs join again. It's a 10-man maul. South Africa holding on grimly. The Japanese heads towards the posts. Can they do it? They are close. Oh yes! It looks like the skipper. Michael Leach, what a hero! As Japan hits the lead.
Well, it's an absolutely deafening roar from the crowd, and this Japanese team thoroughly deserve the support they're getting from all fans who've come to this game. I think even the South African fans will be enjoying this tenacious display. Good solid maul. You mentioned a 10-man maul, Gordon. I think it was a 13-man maul, and finally a little bit of forward progress. Round the corner they came. Leach was wise enough to see where the line was. No doubt about it, he's grounded it this time. And Japan well rewarded. Eddie Jones is smiling and happy. He's got one over his old arch enemy, the Springboks.
Michael Leach, as I mentioned, he arrived in Japan as a 15-year-old. He was born in Christchurch, New Zealand father, Fijian mum, and Goromaru now to squeeze it out to 3.
And does so.
Buckle up.
Adding conversion for Japan.
Fasten your seatbelts. Japan is not worrying about reputations here. Eddie Jones, the coach, a man of his word, he said, we are here to make the quarterfinals. Remember, Japan has won only one match in World Cup history, and that was 24 years ago against Zimbabwe by 52-8. But they're leading the World Cup giant South Africa by 10-7. First half.
Confirmation of the try scorer for Japan, the captain, number 6, Michael Leach.
Well, offside really, the knock-on.
Knock on by red.
Yeah, well, it'd been Michael Leach himself who was running back, and the ball almost hit him more than he made a play for it.
Now, in this situation, does South Africa go for the 3 points, or do they go for the line-out job?
Well, I think they've signalled their intent already, haven't they, by kicking the earlier penalties to the corner. And I see Pat Landy will kick it to the corner again. I think there is a point where you want to start accumulating points, but maybe not just yet. Maybe it's an opportunity to get the physical presence to maybe get another maul of their own going and try and get a big score, a 7-pointer as opposed to a 3.
Skulkberger. Steve Borthwick is the forward coach for Japan, the former England captain. 57 caps, 21 as captain. They've worked so hard on countering the South African maul. But they've got a problem here again. It's Bismarck. And it's another try for the Boks. What a reply. Bismarck Duplessis gets his 10th test try in his 74th international. The coach is feeling a lot more comfortable.
It was well structured again, wasn't it? Well controlled at the back. The Japanese initially, as they did earlier, defended it pretty well to start with. But then came the big, powerful leg drive. The weight just too much from the Springboks. Bismarck Duplessis, almost like a little poacher at the back there, making sure no one else got their hands on the ball. And over he went. Well, it's the Argentinians who said they will use the maul as a key weapon against the All Blacks tomorrow. Both the teams here this afternoon using it as a dynamic form of attack and a point scoring. I almost don't want to say machine, but not exactly the most exciting rugby we've seen in the last few minutes, but very effective scoring from both teams. 10th test try for that man there.
Well, given the nature of the lopsided contest on paper, it's been a scintillating struggle so far. And Lambie has swayed that one wide of the left-hand upright, so it's a 2-point match. South Africa now back in the lead.
They're back in the lead. Don't we love seeing the underdogs do well? In Japan, so far so good. They've been exposed a little at the maul, this time from Bismarck Duplessis, who's grounded it, but a good forward effort from the Springboks. Good strength across the organisational skills, good powerful leg drive and just reward.
Nicely protected there for Ngobo.
Inside.
Valentina working back to Berger, and they're caught behind the advantage line. Now Lambie. It's a huge kick. Goromaru.
Looks like Matsushima carried the ball into touch, jumped from the field of play, caught the ball and landed outside, which means he's effectively taken it out. South Africa will have the put in or the throw in.
Well, unfortunate mistake there by Japan, and a chance for South Africa here to punish that little error of judgment.
Funny how games turn on little moments. That may well have been that moment.
De Villiers. Lambie held up here by Hatakeyama. And those Japanese defenders sneaking up that time, very close to the offside line. Low. He scored the first try for South Africa. Plays with Sam Burgess at Bath. And to be joined by Matawalu, the sensational Fijian scrum half, who almost scored what would have been the try of the tournament last night at Twickenham.
Sensational run, wasn't it? Just unlucky, knocked it on at the end.
Habana sent back in his tracks. Lambie. Bismarck Duplessis. This is brilliant support play. And great anticipation by the Japanese defence. Jesse Creel just caught. Lambie now. Matfield looking for the offload. And that time Ono brought the big man down, twice his size. Here comes the beast. Japan have, I think, snuggled this one back. 3.5 before half-time.
The green touch the ball.
Springboks in the lead by 12-10. Pacey Ono. That's a hefty kick downfield. And Zane Kirchner, who's been outstanding with Leinster over the last couple of seasons. And look at that distance he's gained, almost down to the 22. Brilliant effort there by Zane Kirchner, who won the Pro 12 with Leinster with 2 tries in the final last year.
Kase Ono was waiting for the kick, received it, had no one to throw it into. Every other time it's been anywhere near the touchline, Japan have thrown it in quickly and sped up play, trying to avoid the line out and the big jumpers. And again, very quick to throw it in.
I think that was a little knock on, yes, well read by the referee. Knocked on by South Africa at the front.
The first is green, the second is red.
Eagle eye of Jerome Garce.
Tactically, Japan once again spot on, really. Got to the line out, did Shota Hori, and almost like a dummy threw it in as fast as he could before the South African contestants could get up in the air.
Well, they have to come up with these surprise packets. I've actually seen them play tunnel ball into a line-out.
You spoke about the height. Hitoshi Ono, their most experienced second row ever, 95th cap today, only 1.92 meters tall. He's playing against Matfield, who's 201, and Ruta Yoga, who's 206. It's a proper disadvantage come line-out time.
Important scrum here for Japan. They must hold their ground. But it's a nice clean heel. Urumaru coming in from fullback. Tanaka. Nice clearing kick downfield to the 22. Zane Kirchner. And return it back to Goromaru. It's gone just a little too far.
It's done well, Goromaru. Awfully close to the 22-meter line. That ball was swaying and drifting. Had to reposition himself twice. Took a good clean catch. On the brink of half-time, both teams will be rather eager to not make mistakes.
Certainly the speed, agility of the Japanese and their vision has surprised the South Africans. They were expecting it, but you can see at points in this first half they've been a little shell-shocked, little 6s and 7s. Wow, how good was that from Dutoy Mvovo. Great athletic skills from the number 7. Here's Lambie. They're looking for a try here. Zane Kirchner. Sau stuck with him. 30 seconds before the break. South Africa by 2. 12 plays 10. 2 tries to 1. Try scorer, Bismarck du Plessis. Good low tackle there by Ono. Now low. South Africa just probing through Yanni du Plessis. Dutoy. Big bruising work by the South African forwards in close.
Yeah, and especially Peter Steph Dutoy as the ball finally going wide for the box. De Villiers carried it in, but a lot of the hard work's being done in the front.
Mvovo. Japanese desperate to hold on here as South Africa apply the screws. We're now into injury time first half. The box looking to land a critical blow. Lambie with De Villiers outside. He threw the dummy. It could be a turnover here. Not quite. Low tackle by Tui. Now it's Dutoy. So hard to wrestle to ground. Japan's defence is staying composed and holding their formation. Big tackle there by Luke Thompson. Japan come in. I think they've got it. The crowd realises, and that sums up Japan's performance in the first half. Eddie Jones must be on cloud 9 after that performance. A standing ovation here at the Brighton Community Stadium as South Africa leads by 2 against these tenacious Japanese. Joel, perhaps an opportunity to look at some of those first half stats as the players come back on the field.
Well, as they make their way on, the set phase has been pretty well contested, but pretty even. Japan having lost just one of their own line-out balls. South Africa have not had a scrum put in, can you believe it, in the first half. And, well, made one line-out steal, that is the one Japan lost. In terms of the tackles made, South Africa, you'd expect to have had a bit more possession. Japan have been asked to make 85 tackles, missed the 9, completed 76. South Africa have had to make less than half those tackles, 35, only one missed. But in terms of meters made, South Africa, with all that ball, have a little bit more in terms of game line success.
And another point about Eddie Jones, a little known fact about his playing career, he was a member of the Matraville High School team, which contained the three Ella brothers, probably one of the greatest schoolboy teams of all time. The Japanese players back on the field, and in a huddle we await the South Africans led out by the great man John de Villiers. And Joel will have a close look at the Springbok returning lineup to see if there have been any changes. Love to see a bit more time and space for Jesse Kriel.
Yeah, and for Luwazi and Volvo as well. Brian Abana, I'd imagine, will be eager to get his hands on the ball. No changes in that box out. Evan Etzebeth, a late replacement onto the bench as Peter Steph Katoy moved into the starting lineup. He's got a slight calf strain, don't expect to see too much of him this afternoon. From Japan, I didn't see any changes on the Japanese side either as they made their way out.
Well, I keep repeating myself that Eddie Jones said at the press conference, we are here to make the quarterfinals. We are here to show the world and the Japanese public that we have made giant strides. And when you look at Eddie Jones and his record, they've won 18 of their last 22 test matches. They've beaten Wales in 2013. They beat Italy last year. They're beating Tier 1 nations. And they strung together 11 wins in a row just recently.
And if the first half is anything to go by, they certainly have a shout.
Koziono, another little testing grubber. Safe, sure hands from the South African skipper. 10-metre line, Lambie.
Well, again, whatever Henneke may had in his mind for the start of the second half, it wasn't that. Little wry smile from Pat Lambie, a little shank off the side of the boot. It does happen. He wouldn't have wanted to happen right now, though.
Well, it was good pressure, wasn't it, from Malay Sal?
This young man with a real old rugby brain on his shoulders, you won't want to see that again.
Here's Leach. Ran into a solid tackle there from Lowe and Yanni Duplessis. Tanaka. Nice angle from Matsushima.
One green advantage. One green offside.
Penalty advantage against South Africa.
Wants it within penalty range. Sal picks up. And a chance for Japan now to hit the lead. As you say, it's all come from that miscued punt kick by Pat Lambie.
Yanni Duplessis, I think the man picked out for being offside. It's a perfectly bad start for South Africa at the start of the second half. The beast it was. So it looks like it's going to be a shot at goal from Goromaru.
One green offside.
All we need is a ball.
One green offside. From the team. No, on the line. No, on the red.
Well, the late Shigi Kona, who is the president of Japanese rugby, the godfather of Japanese rugby, commented that height is a problem, but that being the case, it is easier for us to pick up the ball, to scrum lower and move quickly around the field, which is how we have to play. And that has been Eddie Jones's blueprint. We've seen it here today in every aspect. And now Japan with a chance to scrape into the lead.
Doesn't that statement sum up the Japanese attitude towards life, towards business, towards building process, and obviously towards this wonderful game? Always looking for a solution, always finding one using some real good innovation, good initiative.
He missed a similar kick in field position in the first half. Japan has the lead by 1 in the 44th minute. Eddie Jones controlling his excitement. Nambi goes quickly, looking to redeem himself. And Michael Leach underneath. Well, that was actually Michael Broadhurst. Oromaru. Japan have got good distance on their downfield kicks. Pienaar, Habana, Lambi. One low, one over the top. But we're just outside the 22. Diaga! He's a giraffe!
Brilliant.
A human one. Heineke's happy. That's the reply the box needed.
The long loping legs of the giraffe, you might say. Ran a good angle to Diaga. Got a good bit of body position. Finally a missed tackle out in the open by Japan, and Diaga showed some real great pace to get in under the poles. Look at this, he just targets the man, gets through the arm of the tackle, no real shoulder contact. Sees where the poles are, sees where the goal line is, and head down and off he goes. Big, tall man, good pace, good strength, good determination to get there.
Joel, that's come from a very poor chase by Japan from that kick downfield. Ruan Pienaar was allowed to run 35 metres before offloading.
Yeah, exactly, and well, not just an offload, but also the kick before South Africa showed some good signs in terms of their counter-attack. Good continuity, good build-up. Oh, it's a good little run, good angle. Missed tackle, it must be said. And once he was through the gap with a bit of open space in front, he just loped away with the tall figure, the 2-metre 06 figure of Diaga.
Talk about playing in the land of the giants. That's what it looked like that time.
Well, another South African giant does ply his trade in Japan, and that the Lighthouse's son, Andries Becker.
Hendrik Tui departs early in the second half, replaced by Lele Murphy. And there he is, the 15th of 16 children, Lele Murphy, and they're all cheering for him in his first World Cup game here at Brighton Community Stadium. There's a big no-nonsense from Skalkberger on Hatakamaima. Oromaru. Here he is now, Murphy. Straight back to Yanni du Plessis. Victor Matfield underneath. Nice start for the game for Lele Murphy. And this is Michael Leach with that characteristic low driving body height. Hatakayama. Tanaka goes in. Oh no. Oh, Murphy getting very involved. Thompson, quick hands to Leach. 22-metre line ahead. South Africa leading by 6. Good umbrella defence there from Jean de Villiers, trying to unsettle the Japanese attack. He did it effectively.
Yeah, rushing up on the outside, stopping the play at route almost.
Yamashita going to ground there. Oromaru.
And they run it. Bismarck du Plessis, not always a wise move. Won the penalty there.
Very difficult for Bismarck, but you've just got to be more positive and more urgent in that situation.
And more disciplined. You want to make the right decisions at the right times.
Well, all of the coaches have been told the areas the referees are looking at, they're going to be harsh on, and that breakdown area and players being lazy around the tackle.
And I think he's also showing a little frustration on his face there. I think the South African team know as well that they have maybe 60 minutes before the coach is going to substitute them, particularly in the front row, not rolling away. Clear problem there for Bismarck because he eventually makes an effort but could well have got away a bit earlier. So a chance to narrow the gap back down to 3 points.
He's modelled his goal-kicking style on the great Johnny Wilkinson.
Pretty good style to model it on. Same result.
We are back to a 3-point ball game. South Africa by 19-16. Nearly 50 minutes gone in the match. Goromaru came into this match with 653 points. Has kicked 3 penalties and a conversion. Now here's an opportunity. De Villiers. Great tackle by Goromaru. But Japan under pressure here. Diaga goes again as the box look to play on quickly and catch this Japanese defence unawares and in disarray. Tina Lamy uses his footwork that time inside the 22. Diaga into scrum half, the world's tallest scrum half. And Toa Wera. Japan having just regrouped now. But, and that comes down to the quality of the defence by Luke Thompson. Patakawa. Searching kick.
Well, searching kick, great result on the kick. Skolkberger just had a little hand dislodge the ball, trying to get the ball above the tackle and, well, lost it in the contact situation. Just shows you what happens in this game. You cannot lose the ball anyway because the opposition will make you play, and South Africa all the way back to the brink of their own 22. Handling errors mounting against South Africa. Japan being pretty clinical, ball in hand.
Some obstruction ruled there. The referee will explain it. Victor's flabbergasted.
Green one. There is a lot of players in front of the ball carrier. The ball from. No, I'm not sure. I had a goal time. Okay. If I make a mistake, sorry. Okay. I'm not sure.
Joel, I think the referee has ruled obstruction, but Victor's saying I held on to the ball.
Yeah, well, rightly or wrongly, it doesn't really matter. The decision's made, I suppose. Victor, let's have a look. So I think both of them have got the ball maybe, and that's probably what was confusing. And as it went to ground, it certainly wasn't Victor who had it. It was
a bit each way. So because there was no genuine maul offered by Japan, obstruction was the ruling.
And it doesn't matter how much you argue. I've never seen a ref change his mind.
Talk about being out on the field almost in the middle of the scrum here with ref cam.
Right close to the action.
Masataka Mikami on this side, the loose head, the regional junior sumo wrestling champion at 10 years of age. Great scrum. Oh no. Tatikawa. Japan now with their tails up in good attacking position. Thompson. Oh, that's a rugged burst from him. They work it quickly. Tanaka. Tatikawa. Katakawa and Murphy. Try and hold him up here. Now they have to release. Against the tackler. 3 points here will draw Japan level.
Quickly on the ground.
It's Graham, you need to have a
South Africa's discipline letting him down a little bit. Was not penalised a few minutes ago. Now a penalty for not releasing
that's all.
on the ground.
About.
Good strong
About the
carry
neck.
though.
Just be
Big
careful.
carry from
Green
Luke Thompson.
8.
Held on. Ripped to the ground by Skulkberger.
The call from the TMO. Be careful on the head.
Well, Luke Thompson's sister Anna,
Just a wall.
watching back in Christchurch. 5 World Cups for the Silver Ferns and still playing for the Tactics.
Good pedigree in that family.
Well, father, Dad, Dave, I should say, was a back rower with Canterbury and is now one of New Zealand's leading pacing, harness racing trainers and drivers. The crowd is going berserk here, Joel.
They are loving the fact that the underdogs are in the game, and the chance here is the result of Victor Matfield not releasing the tackle play, not allowing to play the ball, as was the call from Jerome Garcia. Means Goromaru has an opportunity to earn another penalty and tie the game up. Who would ever have predicted this?
The crowd will tell you again. Delirious. And I think for some of these Japanese supporters, it's becoming quite emotional. I think we saw some tears.
It's like a dream come true, isn't it? I keep wondering at what point are South Africa just going to up a gear a little and take control and then score 2 or 3 fast tries and take the game away, but it's just not happening. Substitutions coming for Japan. It's Hatakeyama, who had a concussion test earlier, who is now off. Changes 2 for South Africa.
It's a very deep kick. Murphy taking on 3 Springbok defenders. Very important for Japan to clear their defensive zone here. Here comes the toy, and that's good pressure. So South Africa now with the opportunity to hit back quickly.
On the line, please.
Poor clearance from the defensive zone. Not pleasing the coach.
So a change in the front row for South Africa, an opportunity for Hanakame to get some fresh legs on. Kunlisto hasn't been very short of game time coming back from injury. He'll be loving the opportunity to be involved.
South Africa does extremely well there to recover after the ball was juggled. Hori tried to rip it away.
It's okay, it's okay.
Burger into Leach. And now Strauss trying to add some energy. And Thompson stood his ground. 22-metre line. Lambie. That was Kirchner. Easy mark. Downfield we go. Lambie in beautiful position. 15 from halfway. Pienaar in support. Mbogo. And Jesse Creel's outside. But Japan didn't give him a chance to pass it. Diago and Strauss. Yamashita was underneath. Good low tackle. Burger getting involved. Inyan Kana.
No inside.
Burger cleans out well. Good counter ruck there from Japan, thwarted. Diago. He's really hungry for work, the big lock.
Yeah, he's got Peter Step to Toy coming in quickly as well. Another man hungry for work. Isolated a little bit, Westhuizen.
That's against Tanaka. Not rolling away. Consistency from the referee. Important penalty, South Africa.
What do you reckon? Kick the goal this time?
Well, you're the expert, Joel.
Oh, I'm kicking everything right now. In a tight game now, I'd be
3
taking
points.
every single opportunity,
Yeah.
taking the 3 points, building a lead, taking the game away from Japan, and then thinking about the tries. One more try needed for the bonus point, but most importantly, you've got to win this game. Brilliant little offload from Skulkberger out the back door. Trevor Nyankani also looking, ball in two hands, trying to get that offload away, just not able. And then this is where the penalty came. Very quick to blow it, isn't he? Jerome Garcia a couple of times against South Africa, and that time Fumiaki Tanaka had almost no chance to roll away before it was blown.
So this is just comfortably inside Lambie's maximum distance range. But nothing's easy in this environment. It's a cutthroat situation.
Relax it.
Flags are raised and the Boks are back in the lead by 3. And one of the spectators there just tapping his heart, which must be racing at the moment, because Japan is giving this South African side the fight of their lives here at the Brighton Community Stadium.
22, Japan 19.
Not exactly sure it's what that fan was expecting to see this afternoon. I think most fans came here thinking good contest for 35 minutes or so, and then a solid victory for South Africa. Not been that way, has it?
Well, the young man, Peter Step du Toit, has done a sterling job, and coming in as Siya Kolisi. He was raised by his grandmother, the young man, coming from a township background.
And a wonderful young man he is. Talented rugby player, but superb human being. Great to see him on, great to see him having a good 30 minutes, almost 25 minutes to influence this game.
Ruan Pienaar. Well, this is very dangerous. Jesse Creel. What were they thinking there? They'll try and hold him up, but Creel with good leg drive and strength. That was not an option, and the counter ruck comes from Japan. Passing in front of their goalposts. Uninkane. Burger. Still only 15 metres out from the goal line. Now Lambie. Hefty downhill punt. He's put that one into the spectators. It's a beauty.
Super kicking. No chance, most importantly, of a quick throw-in for Japan. They have to contest a fully lined up line out. South Africa very quick to the line out now. They've learned from the fact that they've been caught once or twice by the quick throw. Quick to get there, quick to get organised, quick to have their pod set up. Mutayaga, the imposing figure at the front, trying to block off any thoughts of a quick throw-in or a flat throw-in. And changes in the halfbacks. As anticipated, Fariba Green and Andre Pollard are going to get a good run at a combination here, and off come Pienaar and Patrick Lambie.
And what a duo to bring on in this critical stage of the game.
Yeah, the huge experience of Fariba Dupree, the young up-and-coming Andre Pollard. Certainly a combination that we're all looking forward to seeing.
Japan take the line out nicely. Tadakawa, 10-metre line, South African territory, and Luke Thompson, who's trucked it up all day.
You cannot say like this. Okay, next time yellow card. Yeah.
Oh, it's team warning as well, isn't it? Next time yellow card. Number of discretions at the breakdown. Players not rolling away fast enough on both sides, to be fair. Justos and this time he makes the tackle. Gw, in fact, a little unfair on Justos, and just Gw who came over the top. So hard to get away in that situation quickly, which is what Jerome Garcia is expecting.
Well, this match is still on the tightrope. Japan with an opportunity to come back again and counter-punch and level the scores with just over 20 minutes remaining. Nervous times for the Springbok skipper and his charges. Ayumu Goromaru, who made his debut 10 years ago has already kicked 4 penalties.
And a conversion.
This to level the scores. Hold your breath.
Loves it. Turned immediately and had it back.
22-all. Let's go down to Tom Skippings.
Well, Gordon, I hope you can hear me. I can barely hear myself, but I just wanted to comment on the incredible difference in atmosphere. I'm down between the two dugouts, the South Africans. As the players are coming off, they look bemused and frustrated by what's going on. But I'm directly behind the Japanese bench. They're energised, they're excited, they're thrilled by what they're seeing. And it all adds up to an extraordinary atmosphere down here and potentially a remarkable upset on this World Cup. Back to you.
Tom, thanks for that energised update from the touchline. Clearly the atmosphere is just quite amazing. As you say, a monumental upset is in the offing as Matsushima shows dash and courage and bravery. And Tanaka down the touchline, out on the full. Well, it's only a matter of centimetres. How critical will that kick prove?
This is a brilliant take. Climbing up high, the contest superb. Matsushima grabbing it out the air somehow, and then this little kick over the top. You chat about centimetres, but that centimetres on the wrong side of the line results in about a 40-metre difference in the game place.
There's been some offside, so yeah, that misplaced kick there by Tanaka could really punish Japan here. Pollard goes wide. Here's Creel. Well, Yamada pulling off an unusual tackle. Sort of had his back turned.
Yeah, a blindside tackle.
Now Japan's defence to be tested. Diaga. Hori goes in. And they're up quickly. Strauss! Straight through! You can't stop him! Well, we had the giraffe, now we have the rhinoceros. And that will ease some jangling nerves in the Springbok camp.
Try scorer for South Africa.
Well, it was the angle he ran, and again a little missed tackle from Japan. I've not missed too many, but two vital ones. This the second, the first allowed the Yoga and the bullocking run of Adrian Strauss. Not quite a gazelle on the move. I'm not sure he'd like to be called a rhinoceros, but certainly good little step and go, good finish. And maybe, just maybe, finally the game's starting to settle here in the South African favour, and with a bit of luck for South African fans, that thought of a major World Cup upset dissipating somewhat. The other interesting thing, as Andre Pollard adds the two, was the immediate link between Pollard and Jesse Creel on the outside. A little knowledge, having played together at the Bulls, that Archie ran, the pass, the drift pass superb, got South Africa on the front foot, and on the front foot, this man, the semi-rhinoceros, had a good charge to the line and it put South Africa out in front again.
29 plays 22. 17 minutes remaining. South Africa looking to see if they can get back-to-back tries here and put Japan out of touch. Berger, the workaholic, 8 from halfway.
Well, penalty for South Africa, the fourth try as well, the bonus point try, which might well come into play later in the tournament.
Thank you, but
I saw England get the bonus point last night in that pool of death. How important will that be? And this bonus point, having a look at the tenacity and the ability of this Japanese side, may well be a factor later on.
Wonderful performance by Nemani Nandolo on the wing for Fiji as well.
Yeah, just kicking goals as well.
Yeah.
Altogether, it was a Fijian performance last night that promised so much. Couple of vital errors at vital times, few missed kicks, could have been so different.
Nandolo had a couple of seasons in Japan. And many of the South African players have Japanese teammates out there at the moment on the Japanese top competition. Diaga takes it. South Africa driven back at the maul this time. Now they'll try to counter. Francois Lowe realised it wasn't going anywhere. Habana, we hardly touched the ball. There's space, Matfield. Lovely offload, but no one there in the right place. Oh. He was crying out for someone on his hip, Matfield.
Brian Habana taking a little bit of bump.
19.
Unceremoniously dumped to the floor, and it's a penalty against McCabe.
Andre Pollard then.
Well, we chatted about how influential the England bench were last night when they made their way onto the field, and I'm kind of feeling that the South African bench too have stepped the pace up a little bit. For Reid Dupree in particular, making a big influence of himself already. Just seems more urgency around the breakdown in terms of clearing the ball.
And Adrian Strauss. Well, that's very good line-out defence from Japan.
Not very good attacking play from South Africa, awfully close to the touchline. Set move, well read by the Japanese, and easily shepherded into touch where the Springbok runners.
Converted try the difference. We saw Fiji throw one over the back last night and ended up conceding a try. Taken by Broadhurst. This is Murphy. He's not afraid to have a go. They need a long clearing kick from Goromaru. He's taken it outside the 22.
Yeah, not bad at all. Quite clinical really. And Murphy, he's got some explosive power and gets going very quickly. Made a good 15 or 20 metres almost before brought to ground, and allowed the easier kick for touch.
Replacement for Japan, leaving the field, number 9, Fumiaki Tanaka.
The foreign players in the Japanese team have qualified for the three-year residency qualification, including that man who has a Japanese passport and speaks fluent Japanese, Michael Nix, the captain. Polisi. 22-metre line. Reid Dupree. Somehow Berger held on. Now they go away with a counter. South. Japan need a converted try to draw level again. And South Africa may have pilfered. They have. Now the defence will be tested. Berger. Diaga. Great low tackle. Using the shoulder, no arms.
For you.
Eddie Jones has undoubtedly done his homework on the box side. Every time South Africa hit, they tend to want to go the same way. Japan have crowded this part of the field. You can see the line of defenders up there very quickly to meet Diaga. And to be fair to Kuniuste, and he almost tripped over one of the defending Japanese players lying on the floor and went down. I'm not sure there was any real intent there.
It's a very difficult one, but you've at least got to give the impression you're using your arms in that clean-out.
Well, irrespective of how you're falling or what's caused you to fall, you've got to try to get those arms up and around. 12 minutes to go. Monica Mayer would not have expected this afternoon.
8 of those penalties have been conceded by South Africa in their own half.
So Yemen Etzebeth makes his way on. Diaga had a big afternoon. The Giraffe got going for a super try. A whole lot of work in the tight loose as well.
Still good enough to win the line-out. It's been very good, the Japanese line-out. Here we go, Matsushima! Japan! Goromaru! upsets of all time is still on. Ayumu, Goromaru.
Line out move, set move as well. Away from this contact situation, the little inside pass. Perfectly timed handling. Eddie Jones, set move. Perfectly orchestrated, clinical in its execution. Goromaru capitalised on the outside. Was that little inside ball to the winger, Matsushimi, who timed his pass to perfection. No defenders left.
The Yellow Brothers would be proud of that one, Eddie.
Yeah, a little wry smile there. Knows there's a bit of work to do still, and how important is this kick now all of a sudden?
It's his most difficult kick of the match. He is 7 metres in from the far touchline. This to draw level with 10 to go.
He's got it. Do you think the crowd are loving this or what?
Joel, no one saw this coming. The Japanese fans did. In their wildest dreams.
Where's the number 2?
Iwazi Amrobo makes way. Gw Peterson, a man who plays his trade in Japan, makes his way onto the field. 29 all.
Already this ranks as probably the greatest performance by a Japanese team in their proud history. The Japanese rugby union formed way back in 1926. They are level with two-time World Cup winners South Africa with 10 to go.
Well, for the fans, it's just switched on now. They can't be believing their eyes.
South Africa goes very deep. This is Marphy. He's added real zest, but he's lost the ball. Crucial loss there.
Gw Peterson with a little hand on and rip out. Vital part of the field to turn the ball over. Rita Puyo automatically makes his way forward, almost licking his lips to get hands on ball again.
So Huwasa is now on at scrum half for Tanaka.
That a little look to the heavens we saw there from Anakalea. I wonder if that isn't telling you his emotional and mental state right now.
Changes in the Japanese back line. Michael Leach might be defending at inside centre. Oh yes! Pollard, 5 metres short. Huge trouble here, the Priya. Referee spotted an offside. Kolisi. Japanese defence all over the shop. Pollard. Referee still playing a penalty advantage. Strauss looking for his second. It's there for the Springboks. Matfield. Etzebeth. Kolisi was about to reach out.
Boy, that's determined defence from the Japanese. Bodies on the line. Somehow they managed to keep South Africa out. We'll go back for the penalty, but no doubt Andre Pollard, who has made a big influence since he's come on the field, will pop this over and give the Boks the lead. He was the man charged with defending against Pollard, was the captain Michael Leach. And look at this, Pollard, the angle of the run, the show of the ball in two hands, running between the two defenders, found a little bit of space as Jean de Villiers made the dummy switch, cut down just before the line, and then came the penalty in from the wrong side, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
That ball, Brian Abana was completely alone on the outside. If there had been the opportunity for one long pass into a bit of space, that was it.
Pollard then to regain the lead for the Springboks. A formality. 7 minutes remaining. And for those two inside defenders for Japan, Joel, they're in good company because Pollard went down to the All Blacks as well.
Well, exactly. It was interesting though with Leach defending that 10 channel. It was Kuzayono who was packing down on the blind side of the flag.
South Africa 32, Japan 29.
The upset is still on for Eddie Jones and the Brave Blossoms. South Africa have it by 3. Murphy, what an impact he's made since he's come on the field. A man of Tongan heritage. One of 16 children. Leach trying to rip it away from the strong man, Berger. And Pollard. Goromaru, the try scorer. Burrows low. Terrific strength there from the fullback. Matsushima almost through again. They're having another crack here. Thompson. Japan eager to go. 3-on-2. Little high there in the contact. Iwasa goes in. Leach went backwards and then knocked on by the following player.
And as the clock ticks down, only 6 minutes to go. Little areas start becoming vital now. Good build-up from Japan once again. He's been huge this afternoon. I think that's about the first area he's made. Tough defensive structure at the last attempted tackle, but that little knock on, how important will that be? Turnover ball, South Africa have the opportunity to escape.
This is the first South African scrum feed of the game, Joel. Incredible.
Well, only the 6th scrum of the whole game, the first one that South Africa will put in.
And with Michael Leach, he's played inside at number 8 with Liam Messam and Sam Kane with the Chiefs and held his own. That's the quality of the man. He said he doubted his ability going into Super 15, but he held his head high, hasn't he?
Well, he has, and he certainly held it up this afternoon.
Stability.
Whole Japanese squad, all 22 that have been on the field, the only one not on it is Khan Heskett. They can all hold their heads up high. And you know, the one telling sign is when you win the crowd over. Boy, they've had some good support from all the local fans, even the South Africans, I think, have enjoyed and will admire their tenacious effort this afternoon, win or lose.
Tier 2 nation, Japan. Back at number 15 in the world, and they're having a crack in the scrum. Great scrum, Japan. Berger comes away.
No hands, Red.
Good work there by the Springbok clean out. Napi was appealing for the penalty. He was on his feet. Pollard's kick, gaining only 10. JP Peterson, the cool head in the crisis. Now De Priya. All read by Goromaru. Etzebeth is up. 3-on-3. Tatakawa, look at the stepping halfway. 4 to go. Japan looking for an historic win. Trailing by 3. And they have a head of steam. Working up towards the 22, Thompson. What a manful effort from him. Kawasa, Leach, couldn't offload. 3.5 to go. A try would put Japan in the lead. Phase number 7. Oh, maybe he should have passed at that time. Tatakawa. Now they're inside the 22. Hawasa. Murphy wants it. South Africa looking tired around that ruck area. They're being tested here. Sal. 15 to go. Hawasa. Amazing scenes here in Brighton. Tatakawa. Hawasa told to go to the right side. Most phases so far in the game for Japan, up to number 13. They're stalking for a try that would cause probably the biggest boil over in World Cup history, if not international rugby history. There's the step. Tamura. They're having a crack through Maccabi, the prop forward. South Africa having to draw deep breaths now. Dangerous. Yamada came in. He thought he saw a gap, but closed. Broadhurst. So close. He's been held up, I think, by Turi Gabria.
Not running away, penalty advantage.
So just short of the line. Come in, Joel Stransky.
Oh, it's just scintillating stuff. How many phases is that we're going to hear from Jerome? He's had a yellow card he's switching for. It certainly is. Cooney yesterday just had one little glimpse up and headed up the side of the field. He knew it was coming. Well, just over a minute to go. 19 phases when Japan brought in hand. Just magnificent. Tenacious running. Gutsy running. There were one or two occasions where it went back a few metres. Deep pass, came from depth, over the game line, they still managed to get. And South Africa are in serious danger of losing a game and becoming one of the biggest upsets, as you quite rightly point out, in the history of the game of rugby union. And if it were to happen, as a South African, we would be absolutely mortified. But the other side of that is, what will this do for the belief of the two-tier rugby playing nations?
A minute to go. Both benches have been emptied. Japan's only win in World Cup history 24 years ago against Zimbabwe. Broadhurst took it. Now they're going for the driving ball. The backs have arrived. Can they manoeuvre? Will this sink South Africa? The whole team's there. Have they got there? They're calling for the try. There's plenty of referees out there.
I think everyone's shouting. The Japanese are shouting try, the Boks are shouting held up. Jerome Garcia had the difficult task of trying to stick his head in there and have a look. He seemed to indicate that it was held up. I'm not sure whether he's going to go upstairs. He is going to go upstairs to make sure.
Yes, Jerome.
Ram.
Yes, sir.
Try yes or no? For me, I don't see the ball running on the field. But have a look about the first question. Try yes or no?
Okay.
This may well be mission impossible for the TMO. There were so many bodies there. Very hard to pick up the ball.
It's a good 15-man maul, that. Not sure we're going to be able to see it again. In fact, you can see Jerome Garcia was in a very good position. Sia Kolisi was the man who came up with the ball when everyone did stand up. He seems to be the man who may well have averted a try being scored for the Japanese.
Where's Clark Kent when you need him? X-ray vision.
He's underground there somewhere, looking up from the grass, trying to see whether it's grounded or not.
Well, 90% of the population here in Brighton aren't even aware that the city has a rugby team. They describe themselves as subterranean. And you'd have to be subterranean to see if this one's been forced.
Telling sign is always the the team who may have scored where they go stand, and the Japanese are not going anywhere, they're hanging around for the scrum.
Jerome gave one.
Yeah. So did you see the...
No, there is nothing clear at all. It's got to be a scrum 5 red ball.
Held up, scrum, one last throw of the dice for the Japanese played Blossoms.
It's their last scrum was a magnificent scrum, almost turned over the Springbok scrum, got them on the back foot. Trevor and Linkane has had to limp off, and of course with Kuniusos and in the sin bin, it means both Yanni Duplessis and Beast and Tawarira are back on for the scrum. One man down will be South Africa. Seal Felici's made his way off to effectively go sit in the sin bin as a result.
The Japanese scrum has been superb all round. They haven't lost a scrum on their feet. The Boxers have wheeled in there. Heavy artillery. Yanni Duplessis. Huge front row for South Africa. Eddie Jones on the verge of this colossal upset. If it comes in.
How hard must it be for Yanni Duplessis and the Beast to come on having sat on the beach? Probably cold, probably cool down somewhat, and what a big scrum this is for South Africa.
13 seconds to go. Penalty advantage. Remember, South Africa have a man in the bed. Do they go for the draw, Joel? Or do they go for the win?
I don't know. Famously once Dr. Donny Craven said a draw is like kissing your sister. It's the win they're going for. A draw would be an unbelievable result. You still have to kick it over under enormous pressure. A win would just be the upset of all upsets.
Of all time.
In the history of sport. It's a pretty good scrum from the South African team. Last effort, 7 men against 8. They were pretty strong and had Japan in a bit of trouble. They'll need to be even stronger this time.
A lot of pressure on the referee here as well. Dupree has to stay behind the ball in the scrum. It's gone through the 90.
You cannot drive, use it.
The danger there for Japan if is giving the scrum feed to the opposition if it goes through the full angle.
Yeah, that would be a turnover and the end of the phase effectively, and the final whistle as that scrum is reset, but the play is still deemed to be on.
Contrast in the two coaches. Eddie Jones, the technical assistant coach for the Springboks when they won the World Cup in 2007. Now striving to land a knockout blow. Nearly a minute into injury time.
Close!
South Africa with only 7 men in their scrum against the Japanese 8.
No stability. No. Stability, guys.
Michael Leach just trying to calm the nerves.
His control at the back of the scrum is going to be important, isn't it? That last one just got a little bit of a really controlled draw. Look at that for stress, tension, and a huge element of joy.
A glorious performance by the Japanese team. This is rugby theatre at the summit. Still have it. Leach, the captain. Iwasa. Back to Broadhurst. 5 metres out. 3 minutes of injury time. A try will give the Japanese this monumental upset. Nakabi. It's tough going for Japan.
No!
Kawasa goes in. Here goes Leach. He's strong. Great tackle by Strauss. Saved the try. Tatakawa. Murphy! Here we go! Hesketh! Come on, Hesketh!
Japan, well, to the bits they go, the spoils and thoroughly deserved. They have been enormous this afternoon. They were courageous in not kicking the goal. They went for the try. It was that man, Murphy, who showed some real good strength, timed the pass to perfection, in at the corner when Hesketh to steal the game for Japan. One of the most famous victories in the history of sport, I'd go as far as saying, not just in the game of rugby union. And victory it will be for the cherry blossoms. The conversion doesn't really count for much. It's the 84th minute the try was scored.
Goromaru then. It's all academic. Our eyes have seen the glory. It's a rugby miracle. Eddie Jones is the president of Japan. It's a national holiday.
South Africa 32, Japan 34.
And it was a Kiwi who came to Japan 6 years ago from Hawke's Bay with his wife Carla Hohipa, who was a wing for the New Zealand 15-a-side World Cup winning rugby team. What a family and what a moment for the ex-Kiwi.
Well, it's an unbelievable moment, but it's an unbelievable time and moment, period, for Japanese rugby. Who would ever have guessed or dreamt this? And at the end of the day, they have worn their hearts on their sleeves. They have defended like Trojans. They've made 122 tackles. When it's all looked like a lost cause, they've stood up, they've come back, and they have won one of the most famous, not just Rugby World Cup games, one of what will become one of those folklore games, an example to all the underdogs, the David and Goliath of rugby union.
And let's take our hats off to Japan though, who fought every single step of the way there. They stayed in contention in that
I've never seen anything like that, Joel.
and they're getting the right ball recognition, I think,
On one occasion, we're still standing here, the crowd are still going berserk, applauding this Japanese team.
What impressed you most about that Japanese?
And
We'll look at some of the performances from these Japanese players. It's just every single one of them has been enormous. Oramura with 24 points. We think that is the most points ever in a World Cup game, probably in a test match by a Japanese player. And
new Japanese record.
Certainly a man who has been just enormous. Scored the first one of the tries.
Michael Leach, you've just led your country to one of the most remarkable upsets, possibly in sporting history. How do you feel?
I know it was always going to be a hard battle, it's David versus Goliath, but we've been training for this day for the last 4 years. We worked extremely hard, all the coaching staff and the players, but it was just a full-on team effort. And the Springboks today, they came out, they really tested us, but we knew if we just chopped them and just kept it on, then we would come out with a win.
You said that you'd come here to this World Cup to make an impact. Your coach had said that, but can you in your wildest dreams believe that you've achieved this?
I'm not surprised. We came out here to do a job, and we've been training, like I said, we've been training for this for the past 4 years, so I know the whole world is surprised, but you know, in our camp, you know, we always knew that we could do it.
Quick word on your fans, this remarkable atmosphere.
You know, it's you know, a place like this, having all the Japanese supporters, and I think at the end, I think we had a few other Springbok supporters. So, you know, just thank all the fans, and you know, that's going to be a fantastic World Cup for everyone.
Many congratulations. Thank you, Michael. Thank you.
Michael Weech, the winning captain of Japan, the winners here. Does this go down as the biggest shock ever